Sherrone, the result obviously is the most important part, and that's what you wanted. But could you assess the overall execution of the team tonight?
Yeah, I thought, first of all, I'll start defensively. Just running all over the place, physical. This guy over here with 11 tackles. Rayshon Benny had 6 tackles. And you're going to look at the film, and there's things we got to evaluate and see what we need to fit better or keep contained on things. But I thought they did a heck of a job all night. For the plays that they had, 65 plays allowing a 276 yards, and our standard is really high, right? Our standard is really high. So I know on defense we want to be better than that, and we will. And I thought the thing I'm proud about on the defense is the amount of guys that played, especially the young guys. When you got guys like Troy Bowles, who's not necessarily a young guy, but a new guy, but Chase Taylor, Nadu Wusu, and linebacking core, Lugard playing. But they understand that's the standard, right? So that's what they're in there for, and then that's how they got to attack offensively. Obviously, ran the ball well, got to be better in the passing game. And you look in the red zone, if you don't have 2 turnovers, it's probably a different game. It's either 6 or 14. But it wasn't, right? So the main thing we had to do was finish. So things we got to clean up there, and then special teams wise, we got to challenge guys, push them. In the return game, we got to make sure we got guys in the right place and see who's going to be the most reliable in those spots, because that's what's going to help us win these games. And at the end of the day, we're 7-2, and we're in a position to do everything we want to accomplish and go win. And our leaders are going to take this thing by the horns. Our coaches are going to do that. I'm going to do that to make sure that we have it right where we need it to be and hold it to the standard. So we're excited. We're ready to attack it. But this week comes at a good time, because those guys have played their tail off.
Just one more on the pass game specifically. I guess it's 2 weeks in a row without a touchdown through the air. There's a pick in the red zone. Feels like there hasn't been a lot working downfield.
I disagree. We had some long passes down the field today. We got to connect on the ones that not to have turnovers. So.
Losing Jayshawn Barham earlier, just what impact do you think that had on the rest of the game and your defense?
I mean, Jayshawn's a great player, right? We know how good he is, but at the end of the day, everybody's got to step up. Whoever it is, they know their job. They know what the standard is of whoever we play on the defense is they've got to play at a high level. So, yeah, we didn't have them in the game, but that didn't mean that the standard changes.
Ernest, do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard when you lose a player like Jayshawn Barham. Just the athletic ability he has, the presence he has on the defense, the poise, and obviously experience, right? So losing a key player like that is obviously hard for a defense, but understanding for us leaders, we want to get everybody up. One of our goals, Rayshon Benny talked about in the defense unit early in the year. He said we want to have the same 11 out there on the field. No matter who's on the field, we want the same 11. Offense won't know who's out there in the field no matter who's out there. So that's a goal we discussed early on as a defense unit, as well players wise. And so we knew going this game, right? We're late in the season, we're in November. And, people are going to be banged up through this year. It's hard. It's a gruesome year. You play in the Big Ten. It's going to be tough like that. But we know that everybody got to step up. We have discussions all the time as players how everybody's feeling. We know everybody's feeling, so we kind of idea a sense. So when things like that happen, it's not a surprise to us because we communicate to us players-wise. So we know kind of what's going on. So we know who's next up, and they're ready to go. So I'm really proud of our guys who stepped up today. It's always huge. It's a confidence builder. Because as leaders, when you have guys on the field that can execute the defense out there in crucial moments like this, it builds confidence for the whole unit. So I'm really proud of our guys.
On the right, Chris.
Sherrone, do you have an update on Jayshawn's health?
Not yet. We'll see how this week goes, but I could say he'd come back, but we'll see how this week goes.
Okay. And then what's your concern level overall with the special teams? It seems like every week there's something. And at what point, how do you fix it at this point when this late in the season?
Yeah, consistency. The way you practice is the way you should play, and it's just not. It's got to continue to do that. So we've got to look at challenge everybody there, challenge the coaches, challenge the players to make sure we get it fixed.
Over on the left here, Tom.
Yeah, Sherrone, 9 games in now, could you assess Bryce's progress at quarterback? What are his best strengths? Is it RPO, spin out? Sometimes his best throws seem like those sidearm like a shortstop. It's unbelievable. What would you assess that he needs to work on the most right now?
I mean, I'd say today, right, you can see he was just taking care of the football. And other than that, I mean, he could make every throw and do everything. He made a key third down throw in the pocket to Zach Marshall. He threw a trick play to Zach Marshall on a deep that was in the pocket. He threw the sprint out play to the right and throw a sprint out to the left. So he's got multiple strengths, but we've got to clean up all the other things. We got to clean up the things to make him, and then everybody else around him has to execute at a high level too. The spacing has to be there. Spacing plus timing equals completions. So you got to have the spacing too. So it's not just on Bryce, and when we don't put out the excuse of, oh, he's a freshman or there's freshmen out there. Nobody's a freshman anymore. We just got to keep getting better.
On the right, Sam.
Sherrone, can you evaluate the offensive line's performance today with still sort of a new combination with these three redshirt freshmen?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they played physical. Especially that last drive, you look at having, running the football at a high level for 253 yards. That's physical football right there. And I thought they adjusted well early because there was some new pressure, some new ways. They reverted back to kind of what they did in games 2 and 3 on defense. They played a different style of defense a little bit, which they were prepared for, but I thought the O-line adjusted pretty well. The blitz pickups and things, they did well. We had a young back in there, Jasper Parker, that missed one. But I thought the O-line overall, they're playing at a really good level. We got to continue to bring them along.
Larry.
Sherrone, as effective as your running game is, would the bye week be an opportunity to look at Bryce under center to maybe get more out of the play action game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll look at everything. There's not just one piece to look at it to make sure we get better at. We got really good coaches on the staff, and we'll put our heads together and make sure we're right when we're ready for Northwestern.
In the middle, Aaron.
We saw Justice on the field before the game with the cast on his foot. How long do you expect him to be out for?
We'll see. We'll see exactly how long that'll be.
And then the job Jordan did today, kind of pick up the slack.
Outstanding. 25 carries, 185 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaging 7.4 carry, and he's had 100 and what, Dave?
124.
124, and he's only had one tackle for loss.
But I'd like to say something about that. Like, it's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Like, we all knew as a we all know what Jordan's capable of doing. We go against him every single day in practice, so it's not a surprise to his whole team. The things he did out there on the field today, we know what he does. We know who he is.
One more, injuries are mounting on both sides of the ball. Is this a good time for the bye week for you guys to try and get healthy here?
Great time. That's football, though. Football in the Big Ten, guys are going to get dinged up. Every team, I don't think any team's going to be completely healthy right now. So bye week's great. And another guy that really came in at a crucial moment, Bryson Cudsdale, came in there and ran hard, ran physical. He only had 4 carries, but 4 for 23, averaging 5.8. That's really good, especially in those critical moments and holding on to football. So proud of him and what he did today, too.
Over on the left here, Steve.
Sure, Browder looks like a freshman that's really rising up, that's going to get more and more play time. You mentioned that you got open deep some. He could have very easily had a very long touchdown catch there. Talk about him and that play and where it didn't connect.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got to see the film exactly to see the detail of it, but he works his tail off. He's another guy. He was on scout team half the year and making plays on scout team. So when you do that, you get elevated. You get a chance to go play on Saturdays, and he's continued to show that. So we'll continue to give him opportunities to go play.
In the middle, Austin.
Sherrone, you mentioned this team being 7-2 and having everything in front of you. Do you feel like you're playing at the level that you need to be able to accomplish that? How much of a jump needs to happen here over these next couple weeks?
I mean, I think regardless of the score today, I probably would have found something that we need to get better at. You never think you're perfect. So we know we got a ways to go. We know what we got to do in this bye week to get better, and we know we got a really good team. We got to go play in 2 weeks. So we're going to clean everything we need to clean up, get the guys back we need to get back, and roll from there.
Anything else for Coach? All right, I'm going to excuse him. John, we'll let you go, and then I'm going to excuse him and bring in Zach Marshall to talk with Ernest for a second.
Yeah, quick follow-up on the bye week. Obviously, you mentioned it comes at a really good time. You've got guys like Roller, Sullivan, and tonight Barham. How hopeful are you that over a 2-week span that you can start to get some guys back that have played so well all year?
Yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I can't predict exactly what they're going to be, but it feels like we're in a good direction. So we'll just take it a day at a time and see who can come back. But I know the leaders on this team, on defense, on offense, those guys that aren't back and the guys that have to play, they'll be ready mentally, physically, and emotionally to go play.